Today's video is actually one of my absolute favorite types of videos to make because it saves me money and I don't have to go to the store as often. I have done these freezer clean out challenges many times before. I'll leave them all linked down below, but we are just pulling from my fridge, my pantry, my freezer, and using up all of my leftover product. I have a lot of bacon I need to go through. I have half blocks of cheese that I have been way too lazy to shred up. So we are gonna start by shredding up this cheddar cheese and this Monterey Jack cheese. I love shredding my cheese a lot more than buying the bag cheese, and especially doing keto, you have to be very careful because a lot of the bag cheese has like flour and stuff in it, obviously to like preserve it so it doesn't go bad in the bag, which I get, but I'd rather not have that in my diet. So the KitchenAid doesn't come with this. This is an extra attachment and it comes with, I believe, 3 of the cheese graters. This is the smallest one. Just put that in there until it pops, and then we're gonna turn this on to a setting of 4 or 6, I can't remember. Put our cheese right down in here. It's gonna be loud, so I'm just gonna music over this, but it's super easy to use. So if you have a KitchenAid, I would definitely invest in this cheese grater. I am going to be cooking my bacon in this cast iron skillet and cooking the quesadillas in it. I do have a quesadilla maker, but this just seems a lot more convenient, less dishes to wash, which is always a plus. And it'll just make it go by a lot faster. Our bacon is done cooking. For our chicken, I am going to be using this grilled ready Tyson chicken. I picked this up when I was eating like a lot of salads and wraps and stuff, and really haven't touched it since, but it's still good until November. So I'm gonna start with, I don't know, 2 cups worth. Oop, just kidding, a little bit extra there. Come on. Okay, that seems like a fair amount. So, fun story, I was putting the grease, the bacon grease, into a canister, and I made the ever-loving rookie mistake of pouring super hot grease into cold grease, and it broke my container. Like, it literally just popped and cracked, so anyways, that's a fun story. 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt, a half a teaspoon of onion, or half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, yeah, let's do half a teaspoon of parsley. Oop. So I usually don't super measure out my stuff, but my lovely brother-in-law, you know which one you are, calls me out for not measuring. So here's measuring for you. I'm gonna go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of lemon pepper because I want just a little bit of that lemon seasoning. So that should be okay. And let's do a teaspoon of pepper. Boop. All right. Use the spoon, and then we can cook with it. Nope, runaway chicken. All right, so just get all this mixed up. I am gonna be cooking this in the bacon grease because I do have a little bit left in the skillet. So after this, it is just all about assembly. For my cheese, I do have that set to the side. I just did a cup of the cheddar and a cup of the Monterey Jack. Doubtful I'll use all of this, but I just wanted to go ahead and portion it out just so we had a ballpark idea. In a hot skillet with a little bit of bacon grease, we're gonna go ahead and add in our chicken. Now this chicken is already cooked, so it really won't take that long at all, like maybe 3 to 5 minutes, I think the instructions say. So I am realizing that the tortillas that I have are pretty small, so I'm just kind of going in here and kind of dividing up some of these more chunkier pieces. That way I don't have like a massive chunk and I don't get to have a lot of chicken in one tortilla. Push all of our chicken over to the side. Add in one of our tortillas, just kind of get it toasted. All right, we're just gonna cook it a little bit on each side, try to get some color. Actually, I'm gonna place my cheese down first. Get our cheese in there. A little bit more of that pepper jack. Might be a little bit too much chicken, but that's fine. Bacon. And shout out to my grandpa because he actually brought me this ranch. Apparently somebody else brought him ranch and I don't know why, but he gave it to me. So I didn't have to buy new ranch. So shout out to you, Papa. No idea how I'm gonna flip this over. Didn't really think that through. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let that cook until everything is crisp and then we're gonna continue making the rest. I never said that this was gonna be a mess-free meal or like you don't have to have 6 paper towels sitting next to you, but it's gonna be good. So I went back in with a little bit of bacon grease just so I could kind of crisp up those edges and added some more cheese on the top. Let's give that a flip. I think that's gonna help it get a little bit more crispy. Everything is basically done cooking now, so this is how you like your tacos. You could definitely take them out at this point. Trying to make sure that everything stays in them. Okay, these look so delicious. They are nice and crunchy. That is perfect. It's like the right amount of cheese and chicken. Oh, this looks so good. I'm so excited to eat. If you don't get excited about your food, like what's the point? You know what I mean? So pretty. Okay, enough of me talking. I'm going to eat. Oh, so good. I've had this bag of meatballs in my freezer for quite some time, and I've made this enchilada meatball recipe before. I'll link that down below. And I am absolutely craving it right now. So it takes 3 ingredients to make, super easy. This is a 1 pound bag, so we are actually halving this recipe because I believe the original recipe calls for 2 pounds, but it is gonna be myself eating this. So I am just gonna make the 1 pound, have enough for dinner for tonight, and then leftovers for tomorrow. This is the Siete brand enchilada sauce. It is an apple cider vinegar base with avocado oil. Absolutely my favorite enchilada sauce. It is just so good. So I can get it open. I'm just gonna pour that right on top. And then 1 can of hot rotel. I used the hot rotel last time and it really wasn't too spicy or anything, so that is the route I'm gonna go with. So we are just gonna put our lid on this. Last time I made this, that video got a lot of comments telling me not to lock my lid because that can actually cause this to explode. So just gonna place my lid on top, put this on low, and let's see how it turns out. I had my meatballs on low for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Once I got home from work, the sides were starting to kind of brown up a little bit, so the remaining time, probably about another 30, 45 minutes. So I'm actually gonna serve mine over a bed of Spanish rice, and I know that this is not keto. This is actually the first carby thing, super carby thing that I've had in almost 2 months. So I am okay with that. Of course, I wanna be super transparent with you guys and always be open and honest. So that is how I'm gonna serve it. Of course, if you're doing keto, you could do it on like a bed of cauliflower rice. Definitely have plenty of leftovers, so if you have a larger family, this is a great go-to meal. But I am just gonna finish this off with some of my shredded cheese from yesterday's bacon ranch quesadillas, and that is dinner for tonight. Let's talk about where I am kind of as far as shopping from my freezer. So I have a lot of like this bacon, plenty of pork chops, like I'm not even joking, 4 in this count, 4 in that count, and then I have these country style ribs that we got a really big pack, and then I ended up busting the pack, and so we had to put it in a bag. But anyway, so ribs, and then even more pork chops down here, because apparently we like pork chops. But really, they're really good deals, so we like to stock up on those. And then, of course, I had to get myself a little flat iron. It was only $6, and when I'm here by myself, I figured it'd be a great time to cook myself up a steak. And then I have this pork loin that has been in here for quite some time that I need to get that cooked up. And then I fell into this trap. Y'all have seen these before, this ground pork. I got it for $1.99 at Kroger, and I honestly have no idea what to do with it. So if you have some ground pork recipes, let me know in the comments down below. So a couple of breakfast sausages. I always like to keep a hot Italian sausage on hand, and I'll pick them up whenever they're on sale. And then as far as other types of meats, this is actually ground beef that I got from my mom. Her and my sister went in on cow together. So I have about 5 pounds of that, 3, 4, 5. And then chicken, we have chicken thighs, chicken drumsticks, and another thing of chicken drumsticks. So that's all for this freezer. And then in our other freezer, it's mainly like some deer meat that needs to be eaten because that's also been in here a while. And then most of the stuff that's on the bottom is like my daughter's stuff. So some waffles, chicken nuggets, a little bit of this chicken left from the chicken bacon ranch quesadillas. So that'll get emptied real quick. And then down here is some more deer meat. And then these are really good. I'm not eating them right now since we are doing keto, but I got these at Costco, and this is what I would make with my ramen, with my ramen, but they are really, really good. So if you're at Costco, definitely pick these up and try them out. And of course, there is more stuff down there. I don't know why I have so much frozen berries. Like, I don't eat it, but I also don't want to throw it away because that seems very wasteful. So I might have to start making my daughter some smoothies. Tonight we are doing Italian sausage boats, and I've never tried this recipe before, but it contains all the ingredients I absolutely love, so I know I'm gonna enjoy this one. I have my oven preheated at 375, and we're just gonna go ahead and start by cutting our bell peppers. Now you could definitely just use one bell pepper, but I am gonna use a red and a green because this is definitely gonna make leftovers since it's just myself eating this, so I'll have enough for either lunch tomorrow or dinner tomorrow because I still have a lot of those meatballs left over too. Onto our cookie sheet, I just have it covered with some tin foil. I'm gonna lay those to the side, making sure that I have enough room for the sausages. Now you can drizzle some olive oil, but I am going to be using just like chunks of butter, but I will do that once I have the sausages laid on top. For our cream cheese, I am just using 8 ounces. I'm just gonna be cutting them into about a tablespoon and a half or so slices. So just about yay thick or so. You could definitely add a little bit less if you want to. I'm experimenting at this point, so once we open up the sausage, I'll be able to see if this is too much. If so, I'll just cut it like right down the middle. For our sausages, I'm using the Johnsonville Italian sausage in the hot. You could definitely just do the mild or the sweet, whatever you prefer. Since we are gonna be adding the jalapenos to this, it is gonna be a little bit on the spicy side. And we are gonna be using the Cajun 2-step seasoning. I believe in my last video I called it Cajun step, and my husband made sure to correct me, so it is Cajun 2-step seasoning and just a little bit of salt, pepper, and parsley. And as far as making these into little boats, yeah. Let's go where the fatter side, or the rounder side, I guess, is flat down. We're gonna cut right down that middle and then spread them out as much as we can. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna set them on the baking sheet and then we can assemble on the baking sheet. So again, just right down the middle, making sure not to go all the way through. We don't want to pierce it, but we do want it to be open. So for the seasonings, we are going in with that Cajun 2-step. I'm not going to measure it out, but I would say probably about a tablespoon or so. And I am going to be adding it to my peppers also. And then I forgot I took the lid off of that the other day. Oh man. Subscribe for more cooking tips. All right, let's save this. Sprinkle. I hope you like parsley. All right, let me just shake this one off. Hold on. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get shaken off. Let's add a little bit more on these. That's awesome. I knew I was going to do that. Man, okay. In case this is your first time watching, this is not a professional kitchen whatsoever. That is why my little tag thing officially now says learning new skills as I go. So yeah, we're not perfect. We're very, very messy. We experiment, we're trying new foods, but that is how we learn. All right, so yeah, I have about 3 ounces left of cream cheese. I'm definitely not gonna add that. Let's just put that to the side. And I'm gonna be drizzling with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. This part is totally optional, but I just like that little bitter note that it'll give this. Okay. And then for our jalapenos, I am going to be using diced jalapenos, but you could definitely use full jalapenos if you would like. I just already had this one open, so add those right on top. And I am getting a little bit of that jalapeno juice too on top of those peppers. And then for our cheese, I already have my cheddar cheese and my Monterey Jack cheese shredded up from the other day doing the meatballs. So that is the blend I'm going to be using. You could definitely use whatever you prefer. I actually don't know how much cheese I'm supposed to use, but in my book, the more cheese, the merrier. I think that's a saying, right? If not, I'm gonna trademark it. Can you trademark a saying?
Mom!
Yeah?
Cheese.
You want cheese? Of course you do, you little mouse. Yeah, hold on. Did you finish your dinner? Okay, that looks like plenty of cheese. On my peppers, I'm gonna be just adding little cubes of Kerrygold butter throughout. And then I'll put a couple over here on the sausages, just so maybe that won't burn. And let's put this in the oven at 375 for 35 minutes. My peppers have been in for 30 minutes. I can't tell if y'all can see, but that little blackness on the backside looks like it's starting to burn. So I went ahead and turned mine off, but I am going to do a broil just for like about a minute, just to kind of crisp up that cheese a little bit more. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the sausage boats. They probably weren't my favorite. For an easy sheet pan family meal, just to throw in the oven, they were okay. But the texture of them was more of like a meatball-y texture, so I don't know if they were a little overcooked because the cream cheese definitely wasn't fully cooked. I'm gonna have to experiment with them. I'm thinking maybe doing like crumbled Italian sausage and then everything on top of them, just maybe in a skillet and not in a sheet pan. I don't know, but I'm gonna try it out. As you saw, I definitely have a lot of food left in my freezer, so I could probably keep doing this for a couple more weeks and saving a lot of money. With my husband traveling, it is just myself eating this food, so I'm not really going through it as much as I would. Whenever he is home, I reverse meal plan, so I do a shop from everything I have in my house first, make my grocery list, and then I go to the grocery store. So if you want to learn more about that, check out this video here, and I'll catch you guys there.